President of the United States here in Syracuse. We'll have what he did while he was here and everything he said.
Everyone we've heard from is coalesced around what is truly a lifetime opportunity for this region.
Plus, Chancellor Kent Severud touting Micron's effects right here at Syracuse University, how students will be impacted.
A community college. Find out what the CEO of Micron said. All that and more. Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts right now.
The President of the United States and SU Law alumni Joe Biden returned to the Salt City yesterday. Good evening, I'm Chilekasi, Adele.
And I'm Ashley Wenskoski. His long-awaited visit to Syracuse comes after Micron's $100 billion semiconductor facility investment in Clay.
We have team coverage tonight breaking down the entire event. Citrus TV's Nicole Aponte is here in studio, and Zach Richter is live at Onondaga Community College.
But first, we go to Citrus TV reporter John Perik, who is also at OCC, to break down Biden's big speech from yesterday. John?
Well, at 2 o'clock, President Biden landed here in Syracuse. His motorcade then came here to the Onondaga Community College. And as you can see behind me, it's a little bit of a different scene than it was yesterday. This whole area was actually blocked off because of Secret Service. And then around 4 o'clock, he went inside and he gave those highly anticipated remarks.
The 46th President of the United States, President Joe Biden.
A historic day for Onondaga County.
Folks, we're here to celebrate one of the most significant investments in American history.
A $100 billion microchip commitment that will reshape the nation.
And it's going to ensure that the future is made in America. One of the bright spots around the country.
President Biden's visit to Syracuse comes only weeks after Micron announced it's coming to the town of Clay.
It's the largest American investment of its kind ever in our history. Thank you very much, boss.
The president addressing the community at Onondaga Community College Thursday afternoon, and many Micron representatives, including the CEO, were in attendance.
They're going to build factories the size of, this is not hyperbole, the size of 40 football fields, big enough to fit the Carrier Dome 4 times inside it and still have space left over.
New York State Governor Kathy Hochul, who is now in a tight battle for re-election, joined the president on stage.
How do you spell hope in New York? It's M-I-C-R-O-N. That's how you spell hope. M-I-C-R-O-N. We are grateful to you.
And New York Senator Chuck Schumer described the day as transformational.
Short, folks, this is a great day. A great day for Central New York and a great day for America.
We are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity.
And the president says that this is expected to bring over 9,000 jobs to the area. And for people who end up working at that facility, the average pay, Biden says, is over $100,000. Now reporting live tonight here from the Onondaga Community College, John Perik, Citrus TV News, guys.
John, thank you. And it's not just President Biden excited for the historic Micron investment coming to Central New York. Local leaders are looking forward to the positive impact it will bring. Citrus TV's Nicole Aponte is in studio with their response.
Ashley, Micron's multi-billion-dollar investment has local leaders excited, saying the semiconductor factory is going to make history, not just at Syracuse University, but across Central New York.
Because the common good of this region requires us all to work together nimbly and efficiently to help Micron succeed here.
Chancellor Kent Severud speaking at the event, he celebrated Micron's lasting impacts on the SU campus.
Syracuse University and all its people will do our part in this work, and we will do that work in genuine partnership with all of you and with Micron.
With Micron's help, the university will establish its first ever workforce consortium, hire 1,500 veterans, train the future workforce through a new fellowship program, and create a Micron internship for students.
Not been suspicious or cynical or hesitant. Instead, everyone I've talked to, everyone we've heard from is coalesced around what is truly a lifetime opportunity for this region.
SU isn't the only institution getting a piece of that Micron pie. It extends all the way to our community in hopes it will benefit its youngest members.
I could see it in the Micron team's faces every time we would meet and they would leave and then they would come back. They were falling in love with this community the same way that you and I love this community.
Some leaders called Micron's investment transformative. It's a rebirth of a manufacturing economy many locals thought was gone forever. Reporting in studio, I'm Nicole Aponte.
Well, thank you. Let's take a closer look at some of SU's initiatives to contribute towards American innovation. SU will be implementing a multi-dimensional and inclusive approach to workforce development through its Innovation Consortium. The university will also partner with Micron to enable new diverse faculty to train the workforce through its Future Professors Fellowship Program. There will also be a Micron internship program to prepare students for full-time positions.
And Micron CEO Sanjay Mehrotra also spoke at the event yesterday. He spoke on the importance of Micron's partnership with Central New York and its impacts on the surrounding community. We go now to Zach Richter, who's live at the future Micron semiconductor site in Clay with the latest on the investment. Zach?
Thanks, guys. I'm here outside the Onondaga Community College where yesterday President Biden, along with the CEO Micron, spoke more about this new factory that's going to cost $100 billion and be almost 7.2 square million feet when it's done. However, construction is not supposed to start until 2024 for the first phase. However, workers that we talked about yesterday would be paid almost at least $100,000 a year for the average salary for the workers. New records released yesterday show Micron would get $284 million in property tax breaks under a 49-year proposed deal. In a tweet yesterday, New York State Governor Kathy Hochul said they are investing an additional $500 million to Central New York for workforce development, housing, and education. The CEO of Micron, Sanjay Mehrotra, was in Syracuse for Biden's speech yesterday to talk more about the $100 billion factory. Mehrotra says he wants to make New York State the hub for leading-edge semiconductor manufacturing.
To invest $100 billion over the next 2 decades, building a mega fab manufacturing complex employing 50,000 workers here in New York.
Now, 50,000 jobs is a lot of jobs. The only issue is that's going to take a lot of phases. The first phase, which is slated to begin 2024, as I said, is expected to begin 3,000 jobs. So there is a long way to go until we reach the 50,000 goal. From OCC Tonight, Zach Richter, Citrus TV News.
Richter, thank you. Moving to other news now. There were power outages across campus today, including right here at Citrus TV. Students reported power outages at Watson, Booth, Haven, Day, Flint, Sadler, and Marion Halls. Power was out for about 25 minutes. The university has not commented on the outage. And turning from that to our first weather. Listen, other than the power outage that kind of sent everything haywire, we've had a pretty nice, again, fall-like day.
Yeah, those temperatures getting a little chillier. I think we've been spoiled. It's been warm for so long.
Definitely. Dylan Brendel, what do you got for us?
Ashley, I totally agree. It's cooled down from what we were having earlier this week when we were feeling like, oh, break out the t-shirts and shorts again. Unfortunately, that's not really the case anymore. 50 degrees and cloudy right now. As you look into tonight, that trend's going to pretty much stick around. 42 degrees for your late night plans if you have any of those, bundle up. But as we get into the real late night, 3-4 a.m., 36 degrees, real cold. Guys, back to you.
Coming up on News Live at 6, a big change in those VO scooters you see across campus and in the city of Syracuse.
Plus, a car crash in Clay knocking out power for over 1,600 people. We'll be right back.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. We've all seen them across campus. VO scooters came to Syracuse about a year ago. Now the program has expanded and is gaining popularity. Citrus TV's Zach Richter with the story tonight.
It's simple and accessible, both two main reasons why Syracuse is VO's best city in the country. I spoke with VO's local operations manager, Paul Cabuto.
A little more than a year ago, just about a year ago, we had 150 scooters. Got to test things out, figure everything out through the fall and the winter. And then in April, we expanded up to 500 scooters.
However, not all Syracuse residents like having the scooters around.
They're just being left and laid out in the streets and on the sidewalk. It's actually very dangerous, where they're just being dumped. They're not in one central location near the bus hub when they first rolled out.
But I do think it is kind of a pain in the neck to be walking around the sidewalks and have to step over them and things. But they do look like a lot of fun.
Getting on a VO scooter is as simple as opening the app on your phone, scanning the scooter, and then riding away. And once you're done riding it, it's easier than ever to get off of it, as you can leave it anywhere. You put the kickstand down, reopen up the app on your phone, take a picture of it, and that's all. VO plans to expand even more in Syracuse and even possibly making scooters that are only for SU's campus. In Syracuse, Zach Richter for Citrus TV News.
Zach, thank you. Tomorrow, electronic recycling company Sun King is hosting an event at the Syracuse Fairgrounds for people to drop off pieces of old technology. Citrus TV's Ben Spector has the story.
Usually when the term recycling comes up in conversation, it is paired with a bin that looks like this, or something similar to this, or maybe just the general idea of trash. But in today's world, with the increase in technology usage, recycling electronics has grown more popular.
What we do here is we try to put things back out to be reused, so instead of people buying things that are new.
This is Terrence Uckel, the manager at Bruin Computer Trading and Recycling Company in Liverpool. While electronic recycling is quite popular, it can still grow.
Things still do go to the landfill that should not go there. Not only are they bad for the environment, but it's technically illegal, to throw stuff like that, computers and monitors.
So when you're ready to move on from your smartphone, just like this one right here, it's a more modern idea to electronically recycle. And this Saturday, right behind me at the New York State Fairgrounds, there's an event to electronically recycle, which is hosted by Sun King. But these events might be a thing of the past soon enough.
In theory, the new regulations are trying to provide free and convenient recycling more readily available for consumers, so I don't know if events will have the same interest that they have in the past.
Adam Shine is the owner of Sun King, the host of this weekend's event. State regulations make electronic recycling easier, but there's still a lack of information out there.
Data's everywhere now. It's something that people seem to want, to understand consumer trends, and we're here to try to put an end to that.
New things that are being produced, which reduces the amount of future waste that's going into the environment.
Ben Spector, Citrus TV News.
Interesting stuff, Zach. Thank you. Now to the latest. The CDC released an updated community levels map yesterday showing masks are no longer recommended in several Central New York counties. 7 counties are in higher risk, including Albany, Clinton, Essex, and Tioga County. Oswego was downgraded to medium risk after a drop of 27% in cases over the past week. In Onondaga, this one remained low risk after an 18% drop.
National Grid says power is back on for all but 2 customers after a car crashed into a utility pole in Clay. More than 1,600 customers had light taken away from them this morning. The county sheriff's office says a car crashed into a pole near Burnderry on Morgan Road just before 7:30 a.m. The crash tore down several power lines. The driver has been identified as a male in his late teens. He was taken to upstate and checked out for a leg injury.
And when we come back, I'll have a look at your 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's take a look at that 5-day forecast. Saturday, game day, going to be really nice unless perhaps you're tailgating. Then it's going to be quite cold at 9 a.m., about 40 degrees. Sunday, really great weather. You'll see that low comes up to 47. Really nice weather then. Monday, pretty nice during the day. It's Halloween, of course, but when you get down to trick-or-treat time, it might be a little tough. 59 and 57 are good temperatures, but 20% chance of rain during those prime trick-or-treat hours from 6 to 9. So that might be careful. You might have to work an umbrella into your costume. 40% of rain from 9 to midnight, so that's going to be a little tough. Guys, back to you.
Dylan, thank you. As fall creeps closer and closer to winter, so do the operations at the Four Seasons Golf and Ski Center in Fayetteville. But with an unusually warm past few weeks, that transition is getting tougher. Citrus TV's Ethan Frank with the story.
Their name saying otherwise, Four Seasons Golf and Ski Center really only has 2 seasons, golf and skiing. Now, as the temperature drops by the day, the end of golf is becoming the start of skiing, and operations manager Bill Hain, who's been at the center for over 30 years, says that means the center has a lot of work in its future.
We put up a cage for snow tubing, storage here and that. You know, we've got to do lift maintenance on the chairlift and the conveyor lift and such that we've been doing the past few weeks.
Even though the past few weeks haven't been busy in terms of customers, Assistant Operations Manager Joseph Hall says when people are on site during the transition phase, it's a tough decision on what to prioritize.
It's sometimes difficult when we're trying to work outside and have people also come in and use the facilities. So there's a lot of balance that has to be done with that, in wondering when we should shut down in the season and start working on all the stuff outside, or when we should continue.
Only a few more days left to do that here at the Four Seasons Golf and Ski Center in Fayetteville, and that means winter is approaching along with ski season, and that presents a whole new set of challenges.
Because we have to pay for a lot more labor and a lot of electricity while we're using a lot of these machines out here, we really have to figure out what times work best and we can make the most profit.
Winter is coming soon, and that means skiing as well to CNY.
Ethan, thank you. And coming up in sports, number 16 Syracuse football returns home, looking to bounce back tomorrow.
Sports anchor Trey Redfield details what the Orange need to clean up when we come back.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
16th ranked Syracuse football returns to the Dome this weekend, looking to not leave its laundry detergent behind this time around. Welcome into sports. I'm Trey Redfield. In Cuse's 6-point loss to 5th ranked Clemson last Saturday, the Orange committed 10 penalties for 86 yards, a big reason why Syracuse gave up 17 unanswered points. SU head coach Dino Babers says he's doing whatever he can to clean up his team's miscues.
When we make mistakes on our football team, and when we make mistakes that have happened in the past, we try to correct them so they do not happen in the future. Everybody's entitled to a mistake. We're trying to make it so we don't make constant mistakes.
That is something Cuse can't do this weekend because Notre Dame comes to town. While the Fighting Irish are struggling this season, the Orange have not had the best luck against ND. Notre Dame is 4-3 this season after starting this year 5th in the AP poll. The Orange are in search of their first win over the Irish since 2008 and the first inside the Dome since 2003. Game time is set for noon. Orange Press Pass gets going at 5 right here on OTN. 4th-ranked Syracuse men's soccer wraps up its regular season slate tonight, taking on Boston College. The Orange have already secured the Atlantic Division crown, but can get back into the win column tonight after a road draw with NC State last Saturday. Senior night has been special recently for the Cuse, and that's the festivity in just a little over a half hour. Last year, the Orange took down top-ranked Clemson 2-0, and that Tiger squad went on to win a national championship. Match time is set for 7. Follow men's soccer beat reporter Andrew Selliver on Twitter @AndrewSelliver for live updates. Syracuse volleyball kicks off a homestand tonight. 4 matches in 2 weeks, including 2 this weekend. It all starts in about 30 minutes when the Cuse takes on Florida State. The Seminoles have won 2 in a row, but the odds are in the Orange's favor. FSU is 2-5 on the road this season. Match time is set for 7. Follow volleyball beat reporter Ryan Bridges on Twitter @RyanBridges517 for live updates from the women's building. And now we wrap up with Section 3 football. It's playoff time here in CNY, and this is what I'm highlighting tonight. In the Class AA quarterfinals, Cicero North Syracuse hosts Henninger at 6:30. The winner of that game will play the winner of another 6:30 clash between Baldwinsville and Rome Free Academy. Plus, in Class A, 3rd-seeded West Genesee welcomes in 6th-seeded Carthage. Kickoff is set for 6:30. That's all the time that we have in sports. When we come back, we will have your wake-up weather on the other side. Stick with us.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's take a look at that game day forecast for tomorrow. I know you guys are excited. 9 o'clock when you're waking up, heading to the game, maybe going to a tailgate. It's going to be quite cold. You're probably going to want to bundle up. 40 degrees is not great tailgating weather. Noon when the game kicks off, 56 degrees. That's a little bit better. A little warm inside the Dome. As you head out, 62 degrees as you leave the Dome, hopefully after another Orange victory. That's all I got, guys. Back to you.
Dylan, thank you. We end our show tonight with a story from a local fast food restaurant. A booth is closed off at the Burger King on Genesee Street, not because of a spilled drink, but to save the seat of a beloved customer one last time. Walker Simmons has the story.
A simple message slows the busy pace of this Burger King on the corner of Geddes and West Genesee. A memorial made for Steve McCarter at his favorite booth after the 49-year-old died suddenly on September 24th. It reminds Burger King employees how he was more than just a regular face.
I thought he was just a kind soul. Yep, lost. Never asked for nothing. Never, never.
Steve wasn't mentioned in an obituary, but his passing was felt by an entire kitchen of employees who gave him more than just his regular order for the past 10 years.
His shoes were always big. He wore shorts in the middle of winter. We did everything to try to guide him through life as we could here in the restaurant.
So after a few days, when Steve stopped showing up here at Burger King, the staff started to get worried. And it wasn't until late September, the Syracuse Police Department found him here at the railroad tracks behind Destiny USA Mall, where he was hit by an oncoming train and died.
And up the road, about an hour north in Adams Center, New York, lives someone who knows Steve not as a customer, but as a brother.
After he got out of school, we really didn't have too much to do with each other because he was always doing his thing and I was always doing mine.
Nancy and Steve were split up when they were kids, and even though they didn't spend much time together, Nancy remembers the person her younger brother was.
He was a pretty selfless kid. He would give anybody anything other than his sister.
So as sunlight spills through the windows like it has every morning, this time it won't land across Steve's face. Instead, it highlights the loving community he left behind. Walker Simmons, Citrus TV News.
That'll do it for News Live at 6 tonight.
Big day tomorrow. Join us at 10:30 a.m. for a live edition of Q's Countdown. They're getting you ready for tomorrow's SU football game. Also, we've got Juice and Java right before kickoff. They're on at 11:30.
In the meantime, for more of the latest, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CitrusTV News. I'm Ashley Wenskoski.
And I'm Chilekasi Adele. Good night.